Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today this is going to be outside of the normal rotation. Those breakfast chats that I do are pretty far behind. Some of the ones I have now probably won't even be up for 3 months, 4 months, because I'm not concerned with uploading that many. They're just there as fillers. The channel is mostly at this point about documenting my training, tons of client logs, Q&A, stuff like that. But, people have asked me recently, since I've been cutting again, people have noticed, obviously I've gotten a lot leaner. They're like, what does your supplement stack look like? Guys, I'm not super big on supplements. My supplements are extremely basic. Most of them are health-oriented, right? Most of them are health-oriented. And at the top of the list there for me is going to be vitamin K2 with D3. Right, vitamin D3, vitamin K2. Again, these are largely about health. This is largely about, for me, D3 is about bone density, bone health, immune system. Vitamin K2 balances D3 in certain ways. Again, it's part of your calcium metabolism. As you guys get older, particularly you guys who are not natural, this is not optional for you. I'm going to be honest, if you guys are over 30 and you're not natty, you better be on this. If you're over 40 and honestly you really care about your cardiovascular health, you probably need to be on this. Sorry, my Instant Pot might get loud here. Got some chicken steak and brown rice going. But vitamin K2, it helps with atherosclerosis. Quite a big deal. Also, I'm trying to test out this new mic. We're going to see how it does in a noisy place. Got a new Bluetooth mic. The other one was starting to die out, and it's not replaceable. Like, they stopped making it, and it's for my Canon camcorders. Again, sucks because it was like a $200 mic, but it finally started dying. So again, I've upgraded, and hopefully this audio sounds good. This also gives me a chance to test the audio on this mic because I haven't done any recording sitting down in front of the camera for weeks. So again, let me test that out. I actually haven't done any breakfast chats, I don't think, this year so far. Like in January, they're all going back to December, November. So vitamin K2, again, helps with atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, things like that. These are top of the list for some of my health-oriented supplements. You're going to notice a trend here. Notice almost none of this helps with gains that much. It really doesn't. Like, if you're taking supplements for gains, you're largely throwing away money. All right, fish oil. And I take a lot of fish oil. I'm not going to go into my exact doses because I take more fish oil than is recommended on the label. So therefore, I don't want the liability of saying, hey, this is how much fish oil I take. But it is more than is recommended on the bottle. I have reasons for doing that. I believe it's beneficial. I've seen plenty of registered dietitians even who said, look, we shouldn't even be worried about limiting fish oil. Like, it's not one of those where you're going to have health problems. It's a really healthy fat, arguably the healthiest fat, the omega-3s. Like, even if someone wanted to take large amounts of it, the health concerns aren't actually real unless they are on medications that interfere with it. Just like we wouldn't tell people, oh, you shouldn't eat salmon every day. It's just salmon oil. Okay, it's salmon oil. And again, people will jump up, and I've seen other experts chime in. They're like, why don't you try krill oil? Because there's no proven benefits. It just costs more. That's it. And if you're going to take a lot of omega-3, then, inexpensive ones are probably better. But I take a lot of fish oil. Again, health. Primarily health, cardiovascular health, cognitive health, things like that. That is the primary reasons I use it. So most of this stuff so far, this is all really health related. Could it maybe help with your recovery and gain? Sure, to some extent, the anti-inflammation from the fish oil, the bone density, everything else, sure. None of this is game changers. At best, the best case scenario, your entire supplement stack put together might, in a perfect world, give you 0.5% more gains per year. That's it. If you're expecting more than that, you've been kind of duped by the industry. Next, creatine monohydrate. I don't go with anything special here. It's normal creatine monohydrate. Why? Because that's what's been shown to work best in studies. You can take it plain in water. You don't need proprietary blends, and the cheapest one, the creatine monohydrate, is the one that generally does best in the studies. Again, hard for industry to make money on something that inexpensive, though. So there's the big problem we run into. It's why other ones get marketed. Simple creatine monohydrate, I go with, I guess, the Nutricoast, which is the same thing as my K2. A lot of my other stuff is Kirkland that I get at Costco. Again, reputable company. Nothing special there. Whey protein. Why do I use whey protein? Mainly just because it's a cheap extra protein source. I use it for extra satiety. There may be some potential immune system benefits to whey protein. Again, my lights are going to flicker because I got the Instapot going. This is all being fixed, and there's an electrician coming out to sort some. There have been some electrical issues in the building. But I go with optimal nutrition. People say, why? Because when we had all those consumer reviews like 8 to 10 years ago, half of the name brand companies, there were problems with their labeling, protein spiking, but most importantly, way too many impurities, right? Really high in things like lead, arsenic, things like that. Optimal nutrition was one that was consistently found in all the individual consumer reports, did not have those contaminants at unsafe amounts. People say, well, any amount. No. They're in broccoli. They're in carrots. They're in steak. They're in everything you eat. Welcome to reality. It's safe thresholds. They were exceeding the safe threshold. Optimal nutrition was always within the safe thresholds. It always was accurate as far as the labeling goes. And quite frankly, it's not an expensive brand. They're not overpriced, and it tastes decent. If you do the chocolate, I don't like the vanilla. What am I doing with it these days? I mostly either mix it into my coffee a little bit, into my coffee in the mornings, or I mix a little bit of it with Greek yogurt just to keep my protein intake a little bit higher. My protein intake tends to be very high right now while I'm cutting. It just adds to it to give me an extra variety of protein source with a little bit of different change in flavor. Because again, I eat fair amounts of protein. It does get can get boring and bland if I'm not careful. Again, chicken, steak, Greek yogurt, whey protein, pretty much what I do. And it's a sizable chunk of my daily nutrition, like all of this protein is. And so again, it just gives me an extra protein source. It's an ultra high quality protein. There's some indication that it may help with immune health. The whey does have special benefits there. So again, if you'll notice a trend here, most of the stuff that I take either helps with immune system, bone density, cardiovascular health, cognition. Creatine's in that category also, called cognition. So is the fish oil. Because there's research on these things showing potential improvements in cognition, Alzheimer's, dementia as we age. To me, these are mostly inexpensive anti-aging supplements. Basically, my supplement stack is the basic stuff I've recommended for a decade. Creatine, fish oil, vitamin D3, whey protein. That's it. And then I've started adding D2 more in the later years as research has emerged showing a lot of potential health benefits, particularly cardiovascular and bone health. Stuff that I care about. All right, my supplement stack is very, very not complicated, not overly expensive. This is basic. This is just the basic stuff that most of you should probably take. And you probably don't need much else. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.